Okay, well, good morning, ninth grade. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for joining on the Zoom yesterday with me. That was a lot of fun to see your faces. Definitely miss you guys. So we are on 10.3, okay, which is still on factoring. And let me just say this. You will want to be on page 415 with me right now. Whatever you're doing, if you do not have your book and pencil in front of you, please pause the video and go get that because it'll be extremely confusing if you don't have that. So yeah, if you need to pause it, I'm going to keep going. But this lesson is factoring when we have a variable, when we have a number in front of the variable in the front. Okay, think about this. This looks like the last lesson except for this 3 right here didn't exist. So that changes everything, okay? Still the same idea, but now we're going to learn a method for how to solve when we have something like this. So the first thing we do, everybody got to pay close attention here. We take this right here and this right here, and we multiply them together. Okay, so they call this guy A in the book and this guy C. So do AC, A times C, 3 times 6 times 2 is 6. Okay, and it's a positive 6. Everybody see it's a positive 6. Then they call this guy in front of this x right here, they call him B, which for me the B looks like a 6, so I'm going to do a capital B, so you don't have to worry about that. What is that? It is a plus 7. Now, what happens when we have a plus and a plus? It means they're both positive, okay? So that's easy. That was the easy part. We did that. We multiplied the first one times the last one, and then wrote the term of the middle one. Now, what we have to do is say, okay, here's our 6. We have to say, what times what is 6? Well, we have 3 times 2. But when we add those together, we only get 5. But we need to get plus 7. But if we do 6 and 1, we add them together, and we do get 7. So now I know that I'm going to be using this right here, the 6 and the 1. Now, all I do is I rewrite this term right here. I just bring it straight down and do 3x squared. That's easy. Now, I take this 6 right here and do plus 6x. Okay, you may say, how do I know to do that? Well, it's one of the factors. So there's going to be a 6x at one point that's going to be combined to make a 7x. So that's going to be combined with our 1x, this guy down here. And then I just keep the last term. So here's the important part. This term right here just goes straight down. This term right here just goes straight down. But the middle term is what was broken into this over here by using that. Okay, if I've lost you at this point, it's okay. We're gonna do 1 or 2 more examples. Now, at this point, all I do is I draw parentheses around this and around this. Just like that. I have 4 things, so I make two binomials. Then I factor. I say, what can come out of these 2 guys? Well, the number-wise, a 3 can come out, right? And then, oops, sorry. And then not only a 3, but they each have an x. So I know I can pull a 3x out, and I'm going to have 1x left plus, not a 6, sorry, plus 2. Because 6 divided by 3 is 2. Then I do plus, what can I take out of this guy? I can't take anything out. It's just a 1 in front, x plus 2. Now, when I go to rewrite this problem, that's close to the right answer, but I'm not there yet. So let me erase this over here so we can get to the right answer. Okay, so now I take this guy and combine him with this guy. So I get 3x plus 1. Okay, this is part of our other homework early in the lesson. Then I just do that times what I just underlined, the x plus 2. Right, that was a property rule we learned in our last homework. So that means our final answer is this right here. Now that may be very confusing. So here comes another example. I'm going to go step by step. The book has it written out step by step, but it's not super helpful necessarily, I find. It was kind of confusing. So here's one. 2x squared minus 19x plus 24. Okay, now this is on page 416. Okay, so you need to be there. This is example 2. Example 2. I would turn there if I were you. Okay, now I do the same thing. I'm trying to find what is this number times this number. Well, 2 times 24 equals 48. So I know that my AC is 48. That's pretty cold AC, if you ask me. Then I want to know, what is my b? What is the middle term? Well, that's easy. It's negative 19. Now, what I got to do is I got to come over here to this 48 and say, what times what is 48? So let's go 48. Let's do some simple ones. 4 times 12, 3 times 16, 6 times 8, 2 times 24, right? And now, look, this is a key part here. This is a negative 19. So whatever it equals, it's going to have to be negative. And since this was positive up here, I know they're both going to be negative, okay, by looking at that. So they're both going to be negative. So if I have negative 4 and negative 12, that's negative 16. Oop, that's not quite close enough. This down here is negative 14, and this is down here is negative 26. But this one right here is negative 19, and that's what I need. So I know that I'm going to be using 3 and 16. So now I come up here to the step that I learned last time and just drop this straight down and get 2x squared. I drop this guy straight down here, this plus 24. But in the middle, I split this guy into the two things, which I just discovered right there. And so I do minus 3x minus 19x. The order doesn't, so the order does matter because we need to make sure, okay, I hope everybody sees this, we need to make sure that this guy here can be taken out of this guy here. See how the 19, sorry, I wrote the wrong thing. Not 19x here, 16. So it actually doesn't matter, minus 16x. It doesn't matter if you write the wrong one. Okay, so I wrote the 3 and the 16 over here. Sorry for that little confusing part. But now we just group, and I group these two, and I group these two. Now what can I take out of this first one? Well, I can't take the 2, but I can take an x. So I can take an x out, and I get 2x minus 3. Then out here I can take away an 8 from both, and I get 2x. And then this is tricky. Look, this is a minus, and this is a plus. So I actually need to do a minus, because a minus times a minus is going to give me the plus minus 3. And I also know because it has to match whatever's inside here. They have to match. So that means that my final answer, now coming over here to erase this mess up here, is to combine this and this. So that's x minus 8 now times what's underlined, 2x minus 3. And there is my final answer. Okay, so if you need to keep watching, all the examples in the book are exactly like that. Okay, so if you just need to go through the next one, even through example 3, go for it. Okay, now I'm going to do example 3 two ways here. I'm going to do it the way I would do it. So I was not actually taught what you just did, but this is what example 3 says, and I'll show you what I would have done, like the way that they taught me to do this back in the day when I was in school. So 3x squared minus 7x minus 20. Okay, what I would have done on this problem is I would say, guess what? 3 is only 3 and 1. So that means that 3x is one of the terms, and x is one of the other terms. Does everybody see that? There's a 3 here and a 1 here. So I know that it's going to be 3 and x. Now I look at my terms here, and I say, this is a negative, and this is a negative. So that means I'm going to have 1 positive and 1 negative in the answer. But I don't know which one is going to be which yet. Then I come to this 20, and I say, what times what is 20? I got 4, and I got 5, I got 2, and I got 10. Right? Now I have to say, let's imagine each one of these gets put across from the 3. Which one's going to be multiplied by the 3? The one that's right here in this slot. Okay, so I know I need to get to a negative 7. So the bigger one has to be negative. So I'm going to say it's probably going to be the 1 times the 3. So what if I did 3 times 10? Well, that's going to give me 30. There's no way that that's going to get negative 7. So nope, it's not the 10. Can cross that one out. Not the 10. Then I would go to the 2 and say, ooh, if I do 2, then I get a 6. What if I did a 2 there? Now I'm going to get 6x, and what's opposite of the 2, right, is going to be a 10. But I know that's not going to work because that's 6 and 10. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, so I know that I can totally cancel out this guy, the 2 times 10, which means it's the 4 and the 5. So now let's try this. What if I put the 5 here and the 4 here? I have 3 times 5, which is 15x, and I'm going to have 4x. No matter what I do with those numbers, 15x and 4x, subtract them, add them, whatever, it's never going to be 7. So nope, it's not that order. which means I know it's the other way around. And it is the 5 here and the 4 here. And then I just know that the bigger one is going to be negative and the smaller one is going to be positive. So let's see how that would work out. If I now multiply, I get 3 times x, 3x times x, I get 3x squared. 3x times negative 4 is negative 12x plus 5x. And then I do that, and I get minus 20. So I get 3x squared minus 7x minus 20. There's my answer. I did it. Woohoo! Not too bad. Okay, so that's, as you'll see in the book, on example 3, they do the same thing I did on the other problems. I'm just showing you can do it either way, whichever way you want to do it. If you want to do it trial and error, it's going to take a lot more work. If you learn the actual way and do what I did there, it's not going to be too bad. But you got to follow the steps. Okay, I'm sorry that it's a little confusing. I wish I could explain it in a better way. But I can't really do that. So I'm going to real fast just show you what they would have done here. Minus 7x minus 20. Right, they would have said 3x squared, and they would have said 3 times the 20 here is 60, so AC is 60. They would have said the B is negative 7, and this is actually negative 60 there. So they would have gone to 60, and they would have gone 10 and 6, they would have gone 12 and 5, 4 and 15, 3 and 20. And you see, again, we would come down to, oh, which one is negative 7? This one right here, 12 and 5. And so I would do negative 12x plus 5x minus 20, right? Drop that guy down, and then I do my brackets here and here, and I get 3x out of that one, and x minus 4 is what's left. And then I have this right here, I have plus, I then take a 5 out, and I have x minus 4. Now look what's happened. These are the same, so I know I did it right. And then I'm left with, as my final answer, circle these guys together, 3x plus 5 times x minus 4, right? These in green came together and made that, and this guy here and the plus 5 made that. And there is my final answer, okay? So you can do it either way. You get the same answer, which is the whole point of the problem. So for homework, we're going to start easy. We're on page 418. This is 10.3, and this is part 1. And we are going to do only 1 through 10 all. Okay, I want to make sure that we start understanding it first. If you do it the trial and error method, it's going to take you a little longer. But as long as you can get the right answer in the end, that is the important part. So if you get confused, please watch this video again, look at the examples, and you'll be good to go. Okay, Mr. H is over and out.